Good morning, gang. Happy Wednesday morning. Okay, yep, the results are in from yesterday. The elections, all these off-year elections that we had yesterday. And to nobody's surprise, it came out pretty much as expected. The Democrats won everything, held all the seats that they had. The only flip was the governor's seat in Virginia. Abigail Spanberger won that. So congratulations, Virginia. You've gone from a common sense conservative to a radical feminist liberal in your governor's mansion. Good luck. Yep. Okay. The other fun one in Virginia is the wannabe assassin, Jay Jones, won the attorney general's seat. Remember, this was the guy that thought, killing his opponent and his opponent's kids would be a good thing. Let's vote for him. He won. Okay. So, again, that happens. All right, in New Jersey, Mikey Sherrill, the disgraced congresswoman who was caught cheating on her U.S. Naval Academy exams, but just never admitted it, and they didn't have enough proof, didn't allow her to walk in graduation. A dishonorable veteran that veterans like myself have zero respect for. She's the new governor of New Jersey. Woo! There you go. Great job, guys. Congratulations. Your state's going to be more of a shithole than it already is. All right. California, this one's in. How about this? Nearly 2/3 of the state voted yes on Proposition 50 to override the Constitution and to redistrict, gerrymander, for the 2026 elections. So, yeah, they disenfranchised 40% of the population because all the conservatives, basically anybody who doesn't live on the coast, now will have no voice whatsoever in government. That's what California did. Congratulations. Okay. And then, of course, we have New York City. We can talk about the little ones. I'm not worried about those. Not a big deal. Who cares? Zohran Mamdani is the mayor-elect of New York City. Congratulations. You have now elected, 24 years after 9/11, an Islamic communist terrorist to run the city of New York. Yep, that's how everything played out last night. Interesting, huh? You look at the stupidity that was shown last night. The Democrat Party has an approval rating as a whole of under 20%. Okay? Donald Trump's approval rating is somewhere in the 40s. So twice as many people in this country approve of Donald Trump as approve to Democrats in general. Just giving you that. Now, I'm not saying that the candidates that lost yesterday were all clones of Donald Trump, not by a long shot, okay? But what amazes me is 4 in 5 Democrats hate the way the Democrat Party is running things. 100% of the people in this country are bitching about food costs too high, insurance costs too high, health insurance too high, gas prices, etc., etc., etc. Taxes too high. And their idea is, you know what? I hate everything the politicians are doing, so let's reelect them. This isn't change. I mean, maybe you could say New York has changed. We went from a capitalist to a communist. Okay, there's change. Let's go further left. New York ought to be fun to watch for the next 6 months before it turns into just a complete hellscape. Where it gets really interesting is where you see some of the exit polls on this. Get this, California's Proposition 50 to allow for a redistricting of the state because they want to get more Democrat congressmen in there, okay? Mind you, that'll last very short because California's going to lose a boatload of seats come 2030 census, right? Lower population, less representation. California's had a mass exodus like crazy. Get this, 92%, almost everybody, who was polled coming out, obviously, if you know how statistics work, 92% of Californians thought that this was a vote to impeach Trump. Not to redistrict California, to impeach Trump. Guess what, California? Trump ain't going nowhere. He'll still be your president for another 3 years and 3 months. Yeah, you didn't vote to impeach him. You voted to silence yourself, or at least your neighbors. Okay. What do you think is going to happen to those neighbors? Oh, they're going to leave. You know, remember, the ones that have jobs, own companies, own property, they're going to go bye-bye. You're going to lose representation. You're going to lose tax revenue. Good luck. Hope you learn how to speak Spanish and can fill out the welfare paperwork in Espanol. How about this one? All the this one's from NBC, okay? So nobody can accuse me of cherry picking some conservative media outlet. This is NBC's exit polls. You wonder why population is going down. You hear all the stories about the Muslims saying, we're going to take over for the simple reason that we're having babies and you aren't. Right. You want to know why we're not having babies? Get this. The exit polls for young women voting. 81% of young women in New York City voted for Mamdani. 80% of young women in Jersey voted for Mikey Sherrill. 78% of young women in Virginia voted for Abigail Spanberger. 3/4, 4 out of 5, somewhere in there, are door knocker nose, septum ring, pink hair, porky, not marriage material women. You know, the overwhelming majority of men in this country are hardworking conservatives. The women are bitching all the time going, why aren't there any good men? Every good man I find is a conservative. No kidding, because the liberal men want to be women. It's dumbfounding to me that people pick this. After all their complaining, they do the same thing over and over again. The definition of insanity, doing the same thing and expecting different results. Yeah, I think that would define New York, New Jersey, California, and at least the northeastern part of Virginia. Insane. Okay. You go look up the collective IQs of these states. They're below the national average. Not a big surprise. Okay. What comes next is going to be interesting. A lot of posts on social media yesterday. Do not come to Florida. Do not come to Texas. Do not come to Tennessee. Do not come to the Carolinas. We're full. I'll give you this. The ones that voted for Mamdani or Spanberger or Sherrill, they're not the ones leaving. The ones that are going to leave those states are the conservatives. And they're going to move to Pick a state. Okay. I don't think I don't think anybody's leaving New York City and says, hey, I'll go move to Newark because I want a better quality of life. Right? No, they're going to leave and leave. Remember, what I say it was yesterday, 800,000 people said guaranteed if Mamdani wins, they're leaving. 2.1 million said they're strongly considering it. Okay. You have an outflow of 3 million people, potentially, in New York. That ought to be interesting. Okay. You might be able to get New York real estate cheap. Then again, you're going to have to give it to the government. So I wouldn't advise buying a house in New York City anytime or a condo anytime soon, unless you just like giving away money, like Zohran Mamdani does. Other people's money, at least. You'd have to give away your own. He's going to give away yours. But we will get to see the free buses fail. I mean, they will become mobile homeless shelters. We'll get to see the government-owned grocery stores fail. Go take a look at what happened, how well that worked in the Soviet Union. Standing in line for your butter today, right? Raising the tax on the rich. The rich will be like, see ya, we're going somewhere else. The one I'm really waiting for, and I've said this before, is for Wall Street to leave. Okay? Goldman Sachs or Stifel Nicholas or Merrill Lynch or whoever, when they all decide, you know what, we're out of here. We're going to Texas. A lot of them already have headquarters down in Texas. It's not going to be long till the stock exchange goes, hey, you know what, we're out of here. Right? That will be fun. When you see New York turn into a ghost town. When you see New York turn into Detroit. Because that's what's coming. Mamdani said he's making New York great for immigrants. Not great for Americans. Great for immigrants. Okay. If you want to look at all the elections yesterday, the one bright side, it looks like the deformed mental patient Omar Fateh in Minneapolis is not going to be the new mayor. Jacob Fry is going to win again. Okay. Thank God we eliminated that problem. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Congratulations, Minnesota, for actually getting one better than wrong. That's it. But no, we're going to watch New York implode. We're going to watch New Jersey implode. We're going to probably watch Virginia implode. Taxes are going to go through the roof. I'm going to get to see this firsthand because Virginia's just up the road for me. Now, Western Virginia is very red, but it's going to be interesting. I will tell you this, liberals ain't exactly welcome in this area of Tennessee. No. So they won't find a happy near escape. Gee, I want to go somewhere, right? The 20 people that show up for a No Kings protest, and that didn't go too well again for them. But we're going to get to watch. We all have a front row seat to watch the cities burn. Watch them implode. And as I said yesterday, some sick part of me is kind of happy that Mamdani won, because he's going to be the poster child for failure. His name will go down in history with other monster failures in communism. Joseph Stalin, Karl Marx, Barack Obama, Fidel Castro, and Zohran Mamdani can add his name to that list. I'm the little brother of all the failures, but I'm a failure too. That's what'll happen. And all the people are going to flee New York. And all the people are going to flee New Jersey. Crime will go through the roof. I would absolutely take going to New York, going to Virginia, not that anybody's got going to Newark, off your bucket list. Okay? Not a place you want to go. Unless you want to get robbed, raped, or killed. If that's in your game plan, hey, New York's got arms open for you. Somebody took a bite out of the Big Apple. they found the worm. Yep. R.I.P. NYC. Pinball out.